Welcome back. This video is a quick Gmail 101 on how to use Gmail, which by now, if you have been using it, you should already know your way around. And Gmail is very good with showing you how to use it. So this is what your screen will look like after your inbox cleanup. You will have the separate inbox column. So basically anything new coming into your inbox is up here in this first section. That is your inbox from now on. And then you'll have your separated inboxes here, which for this inbox we have do next, we have look, and then down farther there's follow up and there's start. So follow up has no messages, so there's nothing there. And you'll also notice that these will be the top labels over in your left hand column with all of your labels. So I'm going to scroll back up here just to show you over here on the left hand side. Obviously, you have your Google logo, and then you'll have your search bar. So you can type anything in here that will look through your whole inbox. If it's in the trash, it won't look. You would need to go to the trash and search for it. If it's in sent, you would need to go to sent. However, if you do search for something and there is other emails in the trash, it will give you a notice on the bottom of the search results that says there may be other emails in the trash, which you can click on a link there and then look at those. Over here on the right hand side is our Boomerang app, which I go through in the additional tools module. Here is another tool called Mixmax, which I may make a video for. It's not something I use anymore because it's not free. And then you have your Google Apps. So if you click on this, this will take you to all of the other apps. So if you use Drive, it will take you there to any of your spreadsheets or your documents. And Calendar is the one that you would probably use the most when you're using Gmail, because when you use Gmail email, you have a Google Calendar and they sync. So that works very well together. And if you go, if you go into any other Google apps and you need to get back to your Gmail, you would just click on this and click on Gmail. It will show the same little squares if you go into any of the other apps. And then you have your profile information over there. Okay, just below that, I will show you this gear icon. That is your settings. So if you click on that, it will take you to your settings. You can change your display. The configure inbox is really just for the different categories, which we've turned off because we are using the clean inbox method. And you can go to settings here. The theme is basically if you wanted to change the background color or put a picture on the background or something like that. You can do add-ons, feedback, and help. Basically, you'll probably use settings the most here. I'm going to go ahead and click on settings, but it took me to an email instead. There it goes. This is anything you want to update or change will be found in here. You can go through this and look at different things. I'm not really going to get into too much of this. You don't really need to change anything unless you want to. The basics, I would say, is to have your picture added, which does link to your Google profile, so whatever email you have, and then your signature. So right now, I have a couple of different emails in here. I have no signatures on them because they are personal ones. If this was my business, and of course I can turn this off, I don't really need this on since there isn't any, but if I wanted to go ahead and have a signature, I could just type something in here and save that, and that will show up on all of the emails that I send from that email address. So I'm going to go back to the settings because it popped me out of it, and you'll see the signature is set for my personal email address. It will show before the lines. And then the other thing to take note on is if you want to turn on your vacation responder, that is right here. You obviously have it off, and when you do turn it on and save this, it will show on the top of your screen a message that says that your vacation responder is on, so you know that it's on. and you don't accidentally leave it on for the week after your vacation. Um, and just to go back, if you're using this for business, which I'm sure you are, you do want to make sure you have an email signature in here. And Gmail has made this very simple for you to create an email signature here. You can have all the functions just like anything you're using. If you're using a Word doc, a Google Doc, creating a web page, it's all about the same. It's got the fonts, the different formats. You can put links, you can put images, you can change the format and layouts, and it has all of that information. It makes it super easy for you to do that. I want to go up and go to the next tab, which is the labels. We go over the labels extensively in other videos, so I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm going to click on inbox. This is where you can turn your categories on and off, which we've turned them all off because we are using the clean inbox method. And then accounts and import. This is where you want to forward any emails to your Gmail account. As you will see, I have the main Gmail account is here, and then I have other email addresses that I forward to this email account. Now, like I said before, this is not my business account. I use this mainly for personal. I do have an extra business email address that's here that it doesn't really get used, but there's easy ways to set this up, and you can Google that, and they have step-by-step directions on how to forward your emails, and then also set it up so you can send your email as, and that's what this is, send mail as, the email addresses that are receiving them. The next tag is the filters and blocked addresses. So every time that you create a filter, it will go into this list. So this is my personal email, and you'll see I have a lot of filters in here. My business account has way more filters than this, but that's what the filters are. I go over filters in another video that you can watch. I really don't go into this, but if you ever want to remove them or stop them, you can do that. There's really no need to do that for the most part. This is where you would go ahead, the forwarding and pop tab. This is where you would set up the different email addresses to come into your Gmail account. And again, it's very easy to Google how to do all of that, and it shows you how to walk through. The add-on tabs here is for you to add on different things. We haven't gotten into any of the add-ons for Gmail because we don't really need any of them at this point. Maybe something you use would work with this. I'm not going to go into that. Chat, you can use chat on or off. I don't use chat. I don't know why it's on, but I'm not going to save it at this point. But you can have chat on or off, even if it's on. Nobody uses it. The labs button, we have gone over some of the labs, and you will already have some of these labs turned on in your Gmail account, especially in multiple inboxes. That's how we set up our tabs and the filters on the front page. We have the offline tab. This is so you can use Gmail when you're offline. You would have to install it on your computer to use it that way if you want to. It is a newer function, I believe, that they're using. The themes tab, you can set a theme here. You can set a theme also on the gear icon by clicking on themes. And then we have the multiple inboxes, which we've set up with our different labels so that we see those in the main inbox screen. So that's all of the settings. I know I ran through that very quick, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview on all of those in one place. So that is your settings. To go back over to the left-hand column on this side, if you click on where it says Gmail, there's this little drop-down. You can click on contacts and see anybody that you've actually saved into your contacts. And if you've made any tasks in your calendar, they would be here under the task. I know that currently Gmail or Google is updating the Gmail screen. So all of this may change for you in the next month or so. Once it changes, I of course will be updating that. But for now, we all have the old version still. So we're gonna just work with that. Right now, we have the pause button. That's for the boomerang, which you will see a video in your additional tools for that. You have your compose box. If you click on compose, a new message will pop up that is blank. My signature is now showing up in this message because I saved that in the settings, and you can look at in your new message here. Because I have different email addresses set up, I have different email addresses I can send from. That's how I have it set up. If you just forward your email addresses to Gmail and you don't set up to send as, you won't have this option. So if you want to make sure you have the option, make sure you Google how to send mail as your email address and you'll be able to set that up. And then down here on the bottom of the screen, you'll notice you have your regular settings of formatting fonts and etc. Attachments. If you wanted to insert something from Google Drive, you can send a request money. I have never done that through Google. You can insert a photo, put a link, and you can put emojis, of course. And then we have all the boomerang options, which is also, again, in the additional tools module. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then just notice on the left-hand side of the screen, these are all of your labels over here. It starts with your inbox, and then some of yours may look a little different from here. These are the main Gmail labels that I have that aren't hidden. And then I have my top 3 filtered inboxes that you see on my main inbox here, and then all of my other labels listed below. As you'll notice, there's an asterisk by eBay that makes it go all the way to the top of the page. That's why the @ symbols are there, because they're on the top of the page. If you want something to show up higher up, you can use different symbols and you can use numbers, and that will make things show up higher because all the labels are in alphabetical order. The next thing you'll notice is I do have nested labels in here, and I go into that more in the labels, but that just makes this smaller because I have them nested. If you hit on the more or less, this just shows you the different labels that have been hidden in the settings section. And that's it for this side. If you are signed into your Google account, you will be able to have your Hangouts and chat and all of that on this side. I don't use it, I don't need it on, so it's perfectly fine to be off. Okay, so for the most part, that's all of your inbox. If you need to refresh it, you can hit this refresh button. The more button, it doesn't have many options when you're just looking at your regular inbox. It's when you actually click on one of the emails and it opens up that you have more options on all of the things above. So I went ahead and I opened this email, and you can click on the back button. This is the archive button, and this is the delete button, which is the trash button. These two things are different. Archive means it goes either to a label that you have it in, so this is a label, and it takes it out of your inbox, or it archives it just hidden basically in one of the categories. And so if you ever search for it, you'll be able to find it. The trash button, delete button, actually sends it to the trash, so you won't be able to search for it in the main inbox, and in 30 days or so, it will be deleted out of the inbox with the rest of the trash. So you won't be able to find it after that. This button here is to report spam. So if you get something in your inbox that is spam, you would click on this button and it would go to the spam. It also trains Gmail that if you get something from that specific person, it will put it in spam from now on. Gmail has very good spam filters, and that's one of the reasons why I started using it years ago, because I was getting a lot of spam that was really irritating, and my spam really was cut down when I moved to Gmail, and I still get spam, but compared to what I got before is totally different. So the next button here is to move to. If you want to move the label anywhere else, you can use this. This is the same, basically almost the same thing as to label as. So you can move it to a different label here, or you can go ahead and unselect and then pick different labels from here. They're almost the same buttons right there. The more button we've spoken about before, this is where you would go ahead and add your filter, and you can do all these other things. So if you want to mark it as unread, not important, add a task, add a star, create event, all of those basic options are there. You'll notice that I have this remind me button. This is an added tool, which I will have a video on in additional tools. This is called any.do. It's one of the tools I talk about a lot, but not really with email, but it does have an integration with Gmail, which makes it even better. And then you have a boomerang button again. Boomerang is just all over your Gmail. So those are all of the functions when you open the email. I will go over here and show you. You can star it from in here. You can go ahead and hit the reply button. You can hit this more button, which will let you do all of these other options. A lot of them we've already gone over in different places, and almost the same kind of thing. If you scroll down to the bottom, again, you can reply or forward from down here. And some of your screens may look a little different based on what apps you have in it and just a few different things. You have this print tab up here and you have that in a new window. So if you click this, it'll pop your email out into another window. Say you want to go back to your inbox or something else and you want to keep this email open. It just opens it up into a separate window. So it's just the email. And I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this forward button because there is one more thing I want to show you. When you are emailing, you might want to change the subject line. And in order to find that subject line, you would click on this arrow right here and you can reply, you can forward, you can edit your subscription, and you can pop out your reply. So if you edit your subject, not subscription, it will pop out and you can actually edit and see the subject here. You can also click on copy and blind copy. So you have your carbon copy and your blind copy. If you don't know what blind copy is, if you need to email 20 people, you don't really want to have all 20 email addresses in the to or the CC column because that means all 20 of those people will have the other 20 people's email addresses. And if one of them responds to reply all, they will all get that response. So if you want to send something out to a bunch of people, but want to make sure that they all don't get everybody else's emails and that they don't get everybody else's email responses, you would put the to with your email address in there, the same one that you're sending from. And then in the BCC section, you would add all of those email addresses. If you're emailing a group of people that you want to make sure are able to contact each other, you can always use the CC, but please use the BCC if you're emailing a lot of people that don't know each other. It's just very nice when you don't get emails from 20 other people that you don't know responding to the same thing. So that's all I have for your Gmail 101. I hope this helps and explains everything that you need to know, didn't know, or already knew. I hope this helps. If you have questions, make sure you send me an email and ask a question.